Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Stuart Dougherty, joined by my co-host for this week's episode, Brian Michigan. Brian, it's our last time together, and I'm very heartbroken that we will not experience this wonderful show next week. How are you feeling?
Yeah, Stuart, you're definitely not alone in that regard. I'm certainly sad to leave as well, and it was a great experience for not just myself, but for you also, and our very own Jimmy Wendolek, who is our forecaster for tonight's show. Jimmy, how does the forecast look for this last week?
Well, it looks like we could have a sunny start to the weekend, but some unsettled weather is on the horizon in the extended.
Yeah, we'll get to more details in a moment, but first, let's get into nature in the news. In recent days, the astronomy community has been absolutely stunned with a new record-breaking feat by the Hubble telescope. The star, now known as Eridel, is the most distant single star to ever be imaged by a telescope. The light from this star took 12.9 billion years to reach us, and it is at that great distance that telescopes usually can only make out other galaxies, let alone a single star. In order for the Hubble to capture an image of the star, it had to exploit a natural phenomena common with zoom lenses called gravitational lensing. This happens often in space when a large mass in front of an object results in a large gravitational pull. As the light from the object behind the mass passes through, it must bend around the gravitational anomaly, and thus it will become magnified. Scientists say that this discovery was only a matter of luck and that the star was in a sweet spot, which allowed for them to capture such an in-depth image.
Japan is known to have some of the fastest trains in the world. Recently, the Tokyu Railway, based in the Shibuya neighborhood of Tokyo, Japan, announced that their entire rail network has gone to fully renewable power. They are the first rail network to reach the goal of zero carbon emissions. The railway claims that the amount of carbon they saved is the equivalent to 56,000 homes. The railway contains 8 train services. The longest service connects the Shibuya station to the Tokyo suburb of Yokohama, 22 miles away. Only about 20% of Japan's electricity comes from renewable sources, according to the Institute for Sustainable Energy Policies, a Tokyo-based independent nonprofit research organization. The country hopes to be carbon neutral by 2050. However, the country changed from nuclear power to coal-powered power plants recently following the Fukushima earthquake and nuclear meltdown disaster. While a setback, they still have 28 years to reach their goal.
Student meteorologist Jimmy Wendolek here with your central Pennsylvania forecast. And after a roller coaster of a month weather-wise in April, we're going to have a sunny couple of days to end the month before flipping the calendars over to May. And that is true to end our work week on Friday. High pressure centered over the Virginias, giving us very pleasant conditions here in central Pennsylvania. Mostly sunny skies as we head throughout the day. But as we look out to our west, there is some unsettled weather on the horizon. This stationary front causing some issues down in Kentucky. This area of rain associated with it, mainly showers, will slowly be working its way eastwards as we progress through the weekend, and that is the case for the day on Saturday. That area of rain just slowly progressing out towards the north and east, but we're still dealing with mostly sunny skies here on Saturday here in State College as that high pressure remains dominant over our region. Saturday, a very nice day to get out and enjoy any outdoor activities, but things do change as we head into the day on Sunday. Now, temperatures will be much more seasonable on Sunday from where they were earlier in the week, sitting right around average, but we could also see some showers enter the state, mainly in the western third of the state earlier in the day, getting into central Pennsylvania, affecting us here in the State College region by the time we get to the afternoon and the evening commute. Now, not a washout by any means, but make sure to have an umbrella handy if you have any dinner plans. For the full weekend forecast, Friday looks to be a great day, high temperature of 60 degrees, and there will be so much sunshine out there, it's going to be silly. And those dry and clear conditions continue into Friday night. Low temperature drops down below freezing at 31 with mostly clear skies. And it's a sun-filled Saturday. High temperature of 62 degrees here in Happy Valley, and that sun will be out for a majority of the day. Great day to get out and enjoy maybe a baseball game or any other outdoor activities before a few clouds start to work in on Saturday night. Low temperature down to 37 degrees, and as we head into the day on Sunday, that's when things start to change. Dealing with partly to mostly cloudy skies in the morning, high temperature of 65 degrees, right around average for the beginning of May. And we do see those showers start to work in the afternoon and evening. Again, not a washout, but make sure to bring that umbrella along. That's it for our short-range forecast. Next up is a feature from Dana Osgood saying goodbye to me and our 2 other leaving members of Whether or Not.
As the last episode of Whether or Not of the semester dawns on us, we must commemorate those on the team who will not be joining us for the next semester. It seems like only yesterday that we were gathered at this very desk for the first time. Through COVID and finally being allowed back in the studio, we made it through to bring you all a show once a week for every week of the semester. To our team who are graduating from the show, we hope you learned all that you can from Whether or Not, and we will miss you dearly. So first up is Jimmy, who is interested in going into broadcasting and is graduating this semester. So Jimmy, this is going to be your last time at this desk. How does it feel?
I'm feeling a little nostalgic right now. It's been a good time over the last 2 semesters here doing Whether or Not, and there's been some great experiences, some great laughs, some tears, so I'm going to miss it.
Yeah, we're going to miss you too. So what have you learned from your experience on Whether or Not?
I learned that going into television is hard, and there's a lot of different aspects that go into a good forecast, but I really want to thank Marissa for helping all of us to hone our skills over the last 2 semesters, especially in the fall when we had class with her. So just a great experience and a lot learned.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to taking the class with Marissa as well to really hone my skills. And lastly, what is your favorite memory from being on the show?
I would say my favorite memory in general is just all the antics that went on behind the scenes, just from start to finish, with especially Brian, Stuart, and MJ earlier in the year, and then you and Carol now this semester. One moment in particular was me and Stuart were stuck here in the TV studio until after midnight one day because we could not get the video to record. So it was a painful memory in the moment, but a fun one and a great bonding experience for me and Stuart, looking back on it.
A memory that you can look on fondly.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll definitely miss you, Jimmy.
Miss you too.
Next up is Stuart, who is also graduating this semester. He hopes to get right into the field of meteorology and maybe one day to return to grad school. So Stuart, this is your last time on the show, and you are also graduating. Can you tell me your feelings about this?
It's very bittersweet. I'm very excited to graduate, but at the same time, I know I'm going to miss you, Caroline. I'm certainly going to miss both Jimmy and Brian. It's been very fun these past 2 semesters, and fun being with the people.
That's great to hear. So what have you learned from Whether or Not?
Certainly that television is a very busy industry where it certainly don't have time to lay low. I mean, to think that, to put together a 15-minute show, for everybody here that plays a role in it, it certainly is takes probably 2 to 3 days just to make a 15-minute show, and certainly see why you need a lot of people in the television industry to make a show run smoothly.
Definitely. It is definitely a team effort. And what is your favorite memory from the show, just to close it all out?
Okay, so my favorite memory. So in a past Whether or Not episode, I was either the host or the feature presentation. And anyway, Jimmy was the forecaster for the night. So anyway, my mom always watches the show, and she loves sharing the video on Facebook. So anyway, during one of her sharings of the videos, she posted something along the lines of how she was excited to see her favorite meteorologist be on the show, and Jimmy was the picture thread for the episode on YouTube, and she said something along the lines of, "I'm pretty sure Jimmy is a sweetheart, but he's not my favorite." And from that day forward, Jimmy Wendolek has always been known in my house as Jimmy the Sweetheart. So that's my favorite memory.
That's a really great story. So thank you so much for being on the show, Stuart, and the Whether or Not team will definitely miss you.
I will miss everything.
And last up, we have Brian Michigan, who is going to be a senior next year and is also interested in going out into broadcasting. So Brian, this is also your last time at this desk. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's kind of surreal, honestly. It feels like just yesterday I was doing my first show with MJ, Jimmy, Stuart, so it's kind of crazy to see that I'm finally at my last show.
Yeah, it is really crazy. The semester went by so quick. What have you learned from Whether or Not?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing that I've learned from Whether or Not is probably just how to hit deadlines, making sure to keep track of all the weeks, because depending on what role you have during the week, it really can be quite challenging to get everything together when you need it to. So yeah, I'd say hitting deadlines was probably the biggest thing that I've learned, and also just how to be more comfortable on camera, also doing script writings and stuff like that really helped me kind of advance my my toolkit, so to say.
Yeah, all really valuable skills. And what was your favorite memory from Whether or Not?
So my favorite memory, that's a tough one. I've had so many fun times with everybody over the past 2 semesters. I would have to say my favorite memory, though, would probably be last semester's final show, where we did our takes outside. We gave a farewell to MJ. Yeah, that was a really fun show to produce.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Brian, and we're really going to miss you.
Yeah, thank you.
We are so thankful to have all of these amazing meteorologists on the show this semester. They brought valuable skills, team building, and always knew how to make us smile. We wish them the best of luck on their future endeavors, and the Whether or Not team will miss you all. For Whether or Not, I'm Dana Osgood.
Student meteorologist Jimmy Wendolek back with your extended forecast, taking us through the end of April into the first week of May. But first, we have to recap our weekend, and 2/3 of the weekend are looking very nice and very sunny, especially to end the work week for the day on Friday. High temperatures sitting right around 60 degrees before dropping below freezing Friday night, so a chilly night for the end of April. But we do see those sunny conditions continue into the day on Saturday. High temperature goes up a couple of degrees into the low 60s before jumping up even further for the day on Sunday into the mid 60s, right around average for this time of year. But we also see some showers arrive in the afternoon. Not a washout, but keep that umbrella handy. Now, normally April showers means May flowers, but in this case, April showers is bringing more showers to start the month of May. You see temperatures slightly above average to start next work week. A chance of showers on Monday. A chance of steadier rainfall enters the region for the day on Tuesday. Then we see high temperatures drop off back slightly below average as we approach the middle of the week. A chance of showers again for the day on Wednesday. We see another storm system approach on Thursday that could bring some steadier rainfall to the region. And temperatures do continue their slight downward trend as we end the work week for the day on Friday, with once again showers possible here in central Pennsylvania. So not the best week to head out for any outdoor activities, so maybe plan to stay inside and play some board games. That's it for our extended forecast. Your Whiz Quiz answer is coming up next.
Thanks, Jimmy. I hope it doesn't rain on our parade when we graduate later in May. Anyway, here's your Weather Whiz Quiz question. How many years does it take the light from the star Arendelle to reach Earth? Is it A, 12 billion, B, 12.9 billion, C, 13 billion, or D, 13.5 billion years?
And the answer is B, 12.9 billion years. I've got to say, Jimmy, that's quite a long time for light from all the way across the universe to reach us here on Earth.
Yeah, definitely. If I was alive for 12.9 billion years, maybe I'd finally learn how to ride a bike.
Well, thanks everyone for watching this week's edition of Whether or Not. And with that, I'm Brian Michigan.
I'm Stuart Dougherty.
And I'm Jimmy Wendolek. Good night.